Hi, everybody. Captain Lou here with another extravagant few minutes live here on the Captain Lou Sports Network on YouTube, which we invite you to subscribe to get all of our great content, all of our extravagant few minutes, all of our Captain Lou extravaganza with Captain Lou and Mitch. And starting in September, the 10th season of the ACHA Power Play right here on the Captain Lou Sports Network. To get all of that, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook at the Captain Lou Extravaganza Facebook page, on X at Real Captain Lou. And also you can follow our stories and whatnot on MichiganSportsAndEntertainment.com as well. Hey, a reminder too that every extravagant few minutes, all of our programming is brought to you by the official secondary market of the Captain Lou Sports Network. That, of course, is SeatGeek. As it says on the screen, use the promo code Captain Lou. You'll get $20 off your next purchase. It's easy money. It's free money. So if you're looking to go to a ball game, be it football, baseball with the pennant races in high gear, whatever, make sure you use SeatGeek as your official secondary market along with us and use the promo code Captain Lou for $20 off your next purchase. All right, the Tigers, as we come into this Monday, July the 28th, 3 days away from the trade deadline. Big win finally yesterday for the Tigers. They were able to solve the Toronto Blue Jays. Max Scherzer gave up a 3-run homer. It wasn't his fault for the Blue Jays. He pitched 7 innings, only 3 hits, 11 strikeouts, but Toronto couldn't muster any offense for him, and they couldn't get anything going until the top of the ninth. Detroit scored 7 more in the 8th inning, and kind of like when you're playing for skins on a golf course with 4 or 5 of your buddies, and you've got a 7-stroke lead for a 7-hole carryover on 18. All you got to do is 5-putt and you win. That's kind of what the Tigers' lead was yesterday going into the top of the ninth, but they gave up 4 runs, a couple of more runners on, and you're thinking, what is going on here? But they were able to shut the door and get the win over the Blue Jays. A big win for Detroit, coupled with the Guardians' loss. The Tigers now are 8 games up in the American League Central as they start a 3-game set with the Arizona Diamondbacks starting tonight, Monday. Got a night game on Tuesday, then a day game on Wednesday. So significant because the big rumor, everybody knows, the hot trade chip, if you will, is Eugenio Suarez from the Arizona Diamondbacks, the slugging third baseman. Does Detroit have a chance? I know the asking price is very high for him, so we'll keep an eye on that. Will he maybe trade dugouts before he leaves Detroit on Wednesday afternoon after the matinee game, or will they wait right up until the trade deadline? I think Arizona's holding all the cards now because we know the Cubs are interested, the Red Sox are interested in the home run hitting third baseman. Detroit definitely needs a bat, that's for sure. But as we look at the trade deadline needs for the Tigers, not only do they need a bat, a big third baseman or whatever, a DH, obviously they need relief pitching, what's been going on. Will they go after a starting pitcher like maybe David Bednar from Pittsburgh? He's a reliever. I know Pittsburgh's going to ask the moon for him. Maybe Juan Duran from the Minnesota Twins. But will they trade in division? I don't know if they will do that or not. Maybe Mitch Keller from the Pittsburgh Pirates. That would be a nice little starting piece for the Tigers. But again, it's being said down in Motown, Detroit's not going to be giving up any of their top 100 Major League Baseball prospects. So that's going to make things a little more difficult for a trade for the Tigers if they want to get the quote-unquote cream of the crop at the trade deadline. Suarez is going to be going for one of those pieces, and I don't know if Detroit really wants to go after. Here's a name to keep an eye on for the Tigers maybe. How about Nolan Arenado from the St. Louis Cardinals? On-base percentage is still high. The problem with him, he's got a no-trade clause, an ironclad no-trade clause. We'll see if he'll waive that to go to Detroit. And here's a long shot. I don't know if the Braves would do this. I don't know what their asking price would be, but how about designated hitter Marcell Ozuna? I know that might be a little bit out there. Suarez, though, could be the piece. I know he wants to come to Detroit. We'll keep an eye on that as well as the trade deadline getting hot and heavy. We're going to follow it. If there's something late breaking, we'll make sure as well to give you an update on that if it involves our Detroit Tigers. So big with the trade deadline. A lot of teams still in the market for a lot of pieces. With the expanded playoffs now, so many teams have an opportunity to get to the playoffs. All right, let's take a look at Major League Baseball standings right up to the moment here on the Captain Lou Sports Network. In the American League, the Blue Jays, with that loss, still have a 5.5 game lead over the Yankees, and the Red Sox are at 6.5 games back, and the Rays now fading. They're 10 games out. We talked about the Tigers up over the Guardians by 8 in the Central, 8.5 over the Royals, 10 over the Twins. And in the West, the Astros, they've lost 4 straight. Their lead over the Mariners is at 4, and the Texas Rangers, 9-1 in their last 10, the hottest team in Major League Baseball. They're now within 4 games of the Astros at 56 and 50. In the National League, the Mets, they've won 7 straight, 7 out of the last 10. They're a game and a half up on the Phillies now with a 62 and 44 record. The Cubs and the Brewers are in a virtual tie in the National League Central. We'll see which one of those teams strike first and most at the trade deadline coming up on Thursday, both at 62 and 43. And the Dodgers, they've lost 2 straight. Their lead now is down to 4 in the National League West. Hey, let's before we go to today in sports history, want to give a shout out and say it's great news out of Colorado today. Deion Sanders had a press conference, and they said it was a major announcement, and you just never know when you hear something like that if he was going to be leaving Colorado, maybe taking another coaching gig. But he came with his medical team, and it was announced that he's cancer-free. He's been battling cancer. There was a tumor in his gallbladder. They got that removed. They got the tumor removed. He's cancer-free. So the wild guy, if you want to call him that, he's always in the news, but it's great to see that he's cancer-free and he's full steam ahead to be head coaching this year for the Colorado Buffaloes. And a note from the NFL with the first preseason game coming up Thursday night, the Hall of Fame game with the Lions and the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers have signed Rashawn Slater, offensive lineman, to the biggest contract in NFL history for a lineman. 4 years, $114 million, $92 million of it guaranteed. My goodness, boy, the money just flows with relative ease in pro sports, doesn't it? And it's now even doing it in college sports. Hey, a word from SeatGeek, the official secondary market of the Captain Lou Sports Network. As if there's a ball game you want to go to, minor league or Major League Baseball, you know, with the pennant races heating up, the Tigers, the Yankees, Dodgers, whatever your flavor. How about the Phillies and the Tigers? This coming Sunday night on ESPN. You want to be there in person. Use the safest secondary market, this official secondary market of the Captain Lou Sports Network, the Extravaganza, you name it. That is SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou for $20 off that next purchase. It's free money. It's easy. Why not? It just takes a step and you save $20 off your purchase. The official secondary market of the Captain Lou Sports Network and, of course, of all of our shows, that is SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou for $20 off your next purchase. All right, let's take an extravagant look at today's birthdays and today in sports history. In 1989, Vince Coleman had his major league record steal streak snapped at 50 straight. And in 1994, one of the black days in Major League Baseball, today was the day in 1994 that the Major League Baseball Players Association approved and announced they would be striking, which they did on August 12th in 1994. Birthdays today, Manu Ginobili is 48 years old, the ex-San Antonio Spur. Former NBA coach and standout player Doug Collins, he turned 74. Bill Bradley, Senator Bradley, is 82. And Marty Brennaman, longtime voice of the Cincinnati Reds, is 83 and born on this date. Vita Blue back in 1949. That's a look at today in sports history and today's birthdays. And that's going to do it for another edition of an Extravagant Few Minutes Live here on the Captain Lou Sports Network on YouTube. Again, we want to thank you for welcoming us into your homes, on your laptops, on your iPhones, however you watched us around the world, right here on the Captain Lou Sports Network. Until next time, Captain Lou saying keep your heads up, keep your sticks down, keep your feet moving, and as always, keep your minds open. So long, everybody.